ang inyong palatuntunang Radyo Pilipino, ang Talakayan. Ang tinig ng Pilipino sa Toronto na sumasa inyo tuwing Sabado alas 11:30 ng umaga hanggang alas 12:30 ng tanghali. Dito sa himpilan ng Pinoy Radio. Layunin ng programang ito na makapagbigay ng kasiyahan at makapagdulot ng kaalaman, hatid ng paliwanagan at pagbatikos sa mga isyu at problemang dumarating sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay dito sa Canada. Kapayapaan, katotohanan at kalutasan ng mga suliranin ang aming hangad na ibigay sa inyo. At ngayon, ikinagagalak ng Pinoy Radio na ihatid sa inyo ang Talakayan. Radyo Pilipino, ang Talakayan.
Nakikinig po kayo sa Talakayan, ang tinig ng Pilipino sa Toronto.
PinoyRadio.com. Welcome to Dr. V. Santiago and Associates Family Dentistry. Complete dental care, general and specialty dentistry with trusted team of doctors, surgeon, periodontist, and dental hygienist. Now with 2 locations to serve you in the Greater Toronto area. Main branch at Toronto office, Rosedale Medical Clinic, 600 Sherbourne Street, Suite 307, Toronto. And its new office and clinic at Mississauga Marketplace Plaza, 4555 Herentaria Street, Unit C11. To learn more about Dr. Santiago and the Family Dentistry Canada, visit them online with their new website, thefamilydentistry.ca. For a TLC way of treatment, call 416-967-9272 or 905-272-3455. Dr. V. Santiago and Associates Family Dentistry.
Kahit anong ginagawa ninyo, makinig muna sa masayang tropa ng Talakayan.
PinoyRadio.com. What does it take to realize your dreams? To get you there, a vision and positive steps. The same goes to your financial future. At World Financial Group, we help middle-income families identify their dreams. It's never too early to start working towards your dreams. So I suggest you call Agnes Miranda today. Telephone number 416-702-9693. To secure your family's future, think of World Financial Group.
Magandang umaga po. Ito po si Jessica Brias na bumabati ng isang napakagandang umaga dahil maganda ang aming guest ngayon sa araw na ito. At kami po ay naliligayahan sa mga nakikinig sa amin sa kasalukuyan. Ihanda na po ang balak gawin sa umagang ito. Huwag bibitiw, manatiling nakatutok sa Talakayan Radio Pilipino.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Ako si May Cabrias na bumabati ng magandang umaga, magandang December na. Naku, talagang December. Iyan na talaga. Nasa sa ano na tayo, nasa sa anong tawag na ito? Hindi lang kundi yung nasa sa month na tayo ng nasa month na tayo ng Christmas. Kaya ngayon, magsisimula na tayong magkaroon ng festive air dito sa ating radyo.
Ito naman po si Bobby Atchacon, ang IT coordinator ng Talakayan na bumabati ng magandang umaga dito sa Toronto. Sana magandang gabi naman po yung mga nakikinig sa atin sa Pilipinas as around the world.
At ito naman si Nelson Galvez na papel ko? Event coordinator na bumabati ng magandang umaga sa mga taga Toronto at magandang gabi naman ho sa mga nasa Pilipinas.
Of course, ito naman si Joe Demasco, ang Special Event Coordinator. Gumagandang umaga at December na. At of course, lahat ngayon na magaganda nandito ngayon sa studio.
Good morning, good morning. Yes?
Ipagkuko natin yan ng ating kasalukuyang may isang tayong guest na dumating. Pakikilala natin maya-maya, pero pakilala muna natin ang ating mahal na si Arlene Martirez. Siya po ay isang immigration consultant at a community leader. Say good morning sa iyo, mga kaibigan mo at mga guest mo, Arlene.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Kinagagala ko pong mapabilang na naman po dito sa isang prestigious na radio station sa buong Canada. Sa Talakayan Radio po. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Pakilala mo muna sa amin, Arlene, ang kasama mo.
I'm here with Julia Brujansky. She's my business partner in immigration. She's a licensed consultant, and she's been a licensed consultant for more than almost 3 decades.
With the same company.
With the same company po.
I see. But can you speak English, Tagalog, or what?
She can speak English, but I don't think she speak Russian and Polish, but she doesn't speak Tagalog. But okay lang po din sa kanya na we can speak Tagalog.
No, okay.
We're not gonna sell her.
And good morning, everyone. I'm like a back engine in a software development. What you see is an interface. What's being done on the background, that's me.
Okay, yeah. So, Arlene, okay, what's new in the immigration business, in the immigration world? What are the new laws that are now
what in
place?
particular? You mean about the OFW? Or no?
Well, yes. Okay, let's talk about the OFW first.
As for now po, there are some limitation na po, particularly yung live-in caregiver, right? Meron na silang, may mga quota and it's very difficult to get in right now. Meron din pong bagong rules ngayon sa Philippines na they have to be connected with the license agency in the Philippines for clearance. So bali dalawa po ang magiging communication if the caregiver or if the employer is directly communicating with us here, we have to connect to also with the license agency in the Philippines. Yeah.
Whoever it is.
Yeah, license po. Yeah.
Basta license sila.
Basta license sila
So
and
the
recognized by POEA.
So the four requirements are still there na silang babayad, sila ang magbabayad ng pamasahe, silang babayad ng papalik, di ba?
Technically po, employer pa rin po ang may sagot nun.
Ayan. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Buhay pa rin yung rule na yun.
Opo, ganun pa rin po. It's protecting the employee or the caregivers. But at the same time, it will be more difficult na rin po sa kanila para po makapasok.
Oh, okay, let me clarify. No? Let's say I am I want to be an employer. I want to get a babysitter from the Philippines. And if I have somebody that I know na gusto kong kunin, hindi ko pwedeng kunin na on my own, na sasabihin ko, sige, eto, mag-apply ka dyan. Do I have to go through an agency here and then the agency will talk to an agency in the Philippines? Or hindi ako pwedeng mag-direct na kukunin ko yung tao? How does that work?
Technically po, ang advice po ng sa immigration, you don't need a consultant or someone to assist you if you know what's the process, right? Ngayon, there's a lot of people that are busy and they don't know what's the rules and that's mainly the result of the refusal. So they would ask for assistance. You can directly
Sponsor.
hire
Yeah.
hire a caregiver directly. Again, but if you need assistance, then
Okay, that's when the consultant
Let
gets in.
me ask her a question. Why are the OFW or any immigrants from other countries except the Philippines, for example, Japan, Australia, or whatever, can come to Canada? Is it the same process too?
Well, there are differences in between the countries which require Tier B to come to Canada or not. So the visa, basically. But the immigration process is leveled across the board. It means that if someone is applying for a position of a caregiver, for example, the same rules would apply to citizens of Japan, Australia, or
I see.
Now, what about sponsoring relatives? Let's say parents or
No,
grandparents. Is that allowed? Is that allowed by our immigration
Well,
laws?
unfortunately, the system changed to a lottery. Effectively, there is a lot of lobbying going around. I personally believe it's not fair that the lottery system, when you input the parents into the profile online, that you are not asked the question whether you qualify. Because what happens from my experience, people rush to submit their profiles, so-called profiles, which is only like 6 or 7 questions, and they're not asked whether they're qualified to sponsor their parents. It means that they need to have a certain income within the last 3 years. It has to be consistent with the number of family members and so on. So they don't have this income, and then it's a lottery, right? So when they get drawn, they occupy the space of someone who could have sponsored their parents, who would have qualified, but they don't. So the space is gone, and they cannot sponsor their parents because they don't qualify. The government put this system in process, like two-tier system, two-step system, but I don't think they thought it through very thoroughly.
Okay. So even if they're not qualified, let's say it's a low-income family trying to sponsor a parent, even if they don't qualify, but if they get chosen, if they got picked.
They can submit
So-
their application, but it will be refused. That's the point.
Okay.
So in this case, I would advise them to ask someone who knows the process, because it will save them the processing fee.
I see.
They can come to us for a consultation, and
So what
Okay.
happened to the slot that they occupy and they were refused? Would they be another family or another persons can fill that up?
that's $1 million question which we're trying to find
Oh,
out.
no, you know.
The government says
The
yes.
government say, you were chosen. Like, for example, you were chosen and they refused you because you're not qualified. What happened to that slot?
Ideally, it should be filled by
By
someone
another one. I
else,
see.
but
I thought
so
it was
far we
done.
didn't see it happening.
From the same country?
Not
No?
necessarily.
Oh,
Not
it could be
You
from
know,
any
you
part
know,
of the world.
You know, the problem is we don't know the algorithm how it's been picked, and there is a lot of talk
Okay.
how it's gonna be done. So we don't. The question, the true answer is we don't know.
Oh, that's quite unfair.
Yeah, what happened to the super visa that they issued last year for parents and grandparents?
The super visa is still valid. The system
It's
exists.
still,
and it's
effective?
working. Yeah.
Oh,
The only thing that I would like to mention, super visa is valid 2 years since the first entry. The next subsequent entry, it's 6 months. So only the first entry is valid for 2 years.
so we can use that to sponsor the parents and the grandparents. Super visa.
That's
right?
not for sponsorship. That's for long-term visitors.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
it's only visitors.
Long-term visitors. Yeah, that's what's
Yeah.
called super visa.
Okay. Okay.
So that is a different program. So there are two programs. One is the lottery, and the other one is the super visa.
Yes, lottery is effectively for
Immigrant.
sponsorship for permanent residents.
Yeah.
Oh, PR.
Now, super visa is a variety of a temporary residence visa. It's just for long-term visitors.
Now, this lottery list, how valid is it? Is it valid for a year? Say, for example, I have a batch for this year. Then next year, I have another batch.
You have to reapply next year to re-enter your profile for the
No,
next year.
well, what I meant is that getting into the lottery group, right? It's 1 year, right? One group per year?
If you are chosen, you are given a certain amount of time to submit a full application, and then the application is being processed. So the space is taken. For the next year, there's
Going to be another group.
Yes.
So
Now I see.
basically every year, they will eliminate whatever is in the list. Am I wrong or right?
You have to re-enter, like every year, if you're
Every
not
year.
chosen, you have to re-enter your profile.
Yes, but the thing here is that okay, it takes a while before people sometimes decide, right? For example, you have a January to December, you're in that list for that batch, right? Then you haven't decided, and probably if you decided later on, and at the end of the quarter of the year, then you get rejected. Nobody can fill up your position. So the quota has already been met, right? Say, for example, there's only about 100 to qualify for this batch. And say, for example, you were part of that batch, and then you don't qualify because of background and everything, like financial and all those things. So nobody can fill up the slot.
I think what he's trying
So
to
the
say is,
question is-
can it be carried over, the vacancy? Can it be carried over to the following year? Let's say on a yearly basis.
No.
So it's just 100, whether you're accepted or not, that's it.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
see,
And
okay.
then for the next year, you have to resubmit if you believe you now qualified.
Okay. So there will be people out there who would really want to come here, and they have to apply each year.
Every year.
So they have
Correct.
to pay each year.
There is no.
There is no
Oh,
fee.
there is no
for-
fee. Oh,
for
I
the
thought there
profile,
was-
there is no fee because there is only a couple of questions, and they are basically your who are you, name, date of birth, country of residence.
Oh, that's it?
Country of citizenship. That's it.
So
Wow.
it doesn't really look at the capability of bringing in.
Correct.
Yes, so it's unfair for those people that are qualified, right? And with people that who are not qualified, they get into the list, then it pushes out the qualified
Yeah, that's
people
what she's
to get in.
saying. Yeah, that's
I
what
would say
she's
so,
saying. It's not, yeah, there's no fairness. Okay, babalikan ho natin ang ating mga guests, but now, patalastas ho muna.
Kumusta kabayan? Ito si Rafael Nebres, General Manager ng Action Honda. Para makatipid, mapabilis, pagbili ng Honda sasakyan, kami laging may paraan. Laging may sales events at promotion, tama sa iyong kakayahan. Please call us at 416-281-1234, 416-281-1234. Bibili ka o hindi, it's always my pleasure to talk to kababayan. Mabuhay!
Ito si Belita Corrales. Kumusta na kayong lahat? Sa yumak na magsama-sama ipadala ang ating cargo. Serbisyo ay hindi nagbago. Ang yumak ay totoo. Saan pa man ang iyong pamilya Ang yumak ay mayroong serbisyo, kahon ninyo'y walang peligro. Darating, maayos at magaling.
Kayo nakikinig sa Talakayan.
PinoyRadio.com.
Arlie, may tatanong ako sa iyo, ha? Yun namang sponsorship ng mga, let's say, mga fiancés and mga girlfriends or boyfriends, how does that work?
Actually, matagal na pong tinanggal yung fiancé. I think 1990s. It used to be may fiancé noon, but that was 1990s. Tinanggal na po yun.
Paano ngayon kung merong mga girlfriends?
Unfortunately po, pagka-girlfriend, hindi po. But meron pong process. Ang tatlo lang po ang process dito sa Canada to sponsor the partner, no? Ang unang-una po yung spouse. Pangalawa po, yung spouse, obviously, kasal ka. Pangalawa po, common law. Common law is nagsasama kayo ng at least 1 year or more. So, ibig sabihin nun, nasa isang lugar kayo. Tapos, meron din pong tinatawag na conjugal. Yun po ang karamihan na hindi nila alam na yung conjugal is exist dito sa sa rules ng immigration. Ang conjugal po, ginawa po yan, particularly dun po sa sitwasyon na ang isang tao, ang isang partner, whether lalaki o babae sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa atin, na walang divorce, rine-recognize po ng immigration na you will be able to sponsor yung partner mo kahit nakasal siya previously dun sa kanyang asawa. The reason is yung kanilang meron pong tinatawag na barriers, yung tinatawag sa immigration barriers na hindi nila makuha dahil hindi nila mapakasalan dahil hindi sila divorced dun sa partner. Otherwise, magkakaroon po siya ng bigamy kung mabibigamy yung tao kung hindi po divorce or hindi annulled. Ang napakamahal po ng annulment sa atin, almost 200,000. Hindi naman po lahat makakapag-spend ng 200,000 dun sa annulment. Additionally po dun sa isa pa, ang ano po sa atin, wala pong same sex sa atin. Hindi po recognized. So dun sa may mga country na hindi recognize yung same sex, dun po magfo-fall yung conjugal.
Ganon.
So we can sponsor the partner whether it's same sex or kasal po siya sa previous spouse nila kahit hindi sila divorced.
I see.
Meron pong nagsasabi na, paano nagawa yun? Illegal ba yun? Hindi po illegal yun, legal po yun.
Ano mga requirements nun? Ano mga requirements nun sa say same sex or
pareho din po ng spousal.
You have to prove it that
that you have been cohabiting for at least 1 year or more.
Okay.
Kailangan pa.
Yan, nako.
Kailangan pala you have to stay in the Philippines for
1 year. Nako, Nelson, kailangan i-extend mo.
No, I didn't say that you have to stay for 1 year. You have to be cohabiting. You have to prove yung relationship ninyo na at least for 1 year. Ang ano po doon sa test po doon is financially, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So lahat, siyempre po, yung emotionally and spiritually, hindi po natin maipapakita yon, but through documentation, financial, but you don't have to live in the Philippines.
Kailangan pala lagi kayong joint account.
Joint account. Ayan, Nelson, i-open mo na yung account mo ng dun sa...
Bakit ako?
Ikaw dyan ang merong girl.
Hindi gusto mo naman same-sex naman.
Okay, may tatanong pa ako ulit. Yung let's say dito sa Canada, they're saying that there are provinces which it's easier to get into. Okay, let's say it's in Nova Scotia because I think they need professionals there. So they're trying to get immigrants to go to these provinces where they are still in the development stage. So would it be easier to sponsor if, let's say, you will assure the immigration people that this person you're sponsoring will be working in one of these provinces that are needing this type of skilled skills?
In this case, I think you're confusing the streams because the sponsorship is a family class application, and provincial nominee it's economic class, skill based. So in fact, if the person is selected by one of the provinces based on the employer requirements, because most of these provincial nominee programs in the Atlantics are employer-based, and especially the New Atlantic Immigrant Pilot Project. If the person qualifies, then they would immigrate through the economic stream, through the provincial nominee program, and not through sponsorship. So there's a completely two different applications.
I see. So it's
There's
like
no need to do sponsorship if you qualify as economic class.
it will be an independent application.
Correct.
It's not.
That's how it was called before.
I see. Okay. Okay. So I cannot sponsor somebody, let's say a brother who's an engineer, and say that okay, once he comes in, he'll be working in the Atlantic, one of the Atlantic provinces. I cannot do that. It has to be.
No, and the sponsorship works only for children, spouses, and parents. No brothers, sisters, no siblings.
Okay.
You may give on different programs. You may give additional points or priorities, but it's not a category to be sponsored.
I see. I see.
So what you're saying is the nominee program is direct employment from the province?
It's employer direct. It's by the employer needs. It's how it's supposed to reflect the immediate needs of the employer in the particular region, province, or area. It also includes international students and some business applicants.
Oh, because like in Calgary, it used to have a lot of provincial nominees during the oil
boom.
Oil
Correct.
boom. So is
Yeah,
still going on? Or?
Personally, I don't like this program because I don't believe it conducts itself fairly towards the applicants. The rules are changing midstream, and they don't. Let's say someone is on a work permit, the work permit expires, the person qualified, but the program has a huge backlog, and they cannot process this application in time. So if the person loses the work permit, they qualify no more. I don't think it's fair, and we don't recommend anyone to go to Alberta. If there is any choice in between where to go, I would say right now Atlantics is the priority.
So
Yes.
what they're telling us, they have the policy of 4 years work permit, then their permit expires, so they have another 4 years before they can come back. Provincial nominee.
4 years provision was repealed earlier this year.
Also, it's not.
Still permanent.
So technically, you can continue on a work permit, but let's say if the employer cannot
Provide you
sponsor you, like get you a new labor market impact assessment, then they don't support the work permit. For example, in some categories in Ontario, if employer nominates the employee, they get provincial nominee certificate. Then the province writes a letter that to the federal government to allow to continue on a work permit. So they can renew work permit without the employer applying for a new labor market assessment.
Yeah, there was a
in
news.
Alberta, there is none.
There was a news item in last week's papers, and they came here as international students, and then when this person graduated, he moved to PEI, I think, and he was able to get a job there, and he's living there permanently. So that would be a quicker way of being an immigrant. Is that how the international students?
You have to look in each and every provincial program individually, because, for example, if you go to Manitoba, the so-called ties to a different province is, I would say, it will point demerits, point deduction. You are deducted points because you have attachment to a different province and maybe officially refused. So you have to look into each province's program individually. For example, if you didn't graduate from the Canadian Educational Institution in PEI, you cannot apply in the international student stream because you are not a PEI graduate, you're an Ontario graduate. So it has to be a different stream. There are several streams, you have to be very, very careful which stream you choose.
But if there are no jobs, let's say somebody's going to University of Toronto. Oh, okay.
Ano lang po, yung kung it is a case to, it's case to case po. So individually depende po sa applicant. So some applicants, they may be student but they might not be able to, or they might not be qualified sa Atlantic. So depende po. So we normally look at the person's background and credential.
So your company is doing that too? If let's say I am an international student and then I come to you,
Yeah.
you'll help us and look for a proper placement? Is
Opo,
that-
opo.
Oh, nice.
We
Yeah.
do a comprehensive assessment. We have a very particular and detailed questionnaire because what's important is your skills and background. If you have been working before, what education you had before, because sometimes students coming here, they already have one education, one education credential. We have to assess it. We have to see how you fit, let's say, the employer's need in the particular area, and then we can give you our recommendation
I
based on the
see.
individual assessment.
Okay, talking about what your company can do, how much is the fee?
It depends. It depends.
Depends on
If
how
you're
complicated.
If your case is very straightforward and you don't have any aggravations, no inadmissibility, no divorces, no undeclared kids, no spouse, no girlfriend, no problem, then it will be one fee. If, let's say, all this apply, then it will be a completely different story.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
Hindi po kami kamahalan and then at the same time hulugan po.
Oh,
Wala bang
nice.
basic? No basic fee.
There is a basic fee, depende po sa situation po.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question here. Is that okay? Say for example, you went for a sponsorship, right? You said there were 3 categories. One is the spousal, one is the conjugal, and one is the common, right? Definitely, once you're successful with this one, bringing those people in, right? What is the responsibility of the sponsor? First of all, yes, because apparently some people I probably heard, right, is that they were able to succeed in bringing in as one of their sponsor here, yes, but the relation didn't work. So I heard that you're still responsible for something.
Yes po, responsible po sa spouse. Normally po 3 years yung mga necessity niya. So whether na ingat lang po.
3 years lang pala.
Kinig ka ba?
Sorry, it means you have to be very careful in your choice of relationship because if you bring your spouse or common law partner here and the relationship breaks down, let's say in a year, for 3 years you're still on the hook for all the financial arrangements. It means if the person will take a mortgage or a car loan and stops paying, it's on you.
Yeah, you're guarantor. Sorry.
Kasi po dati last few months ago lang tinanggal po yung rules. I think it was April. They removed the rules that the partner, yung ini-sponsor mo, you have to stick with your partner for 2 years. Ngayon po, because there's a lot of abuse reported sa immigration, so they removed that yung restriction dun sa partner na ini-sponsor mo. But it doesn't remove the restriction dun sa sponsor. So
one way pa lang.
One way na lang ngayon. Ikaw nang naghirap, ikaw pa ngayon maghihirap uli.
Okay.
So be
just-
very careful po.
Just to clarify, yung 3 years na yun, let's say...
Sa spouse lang po
Oo,
yun.
sa spouse,
Hindi
no?
kasama yung anak. Ngayon, kung meron silang anak sa una, tapos kasama pa yung bata, hanggang sa mag 22 years old or continuously na nag-aaral yung anak nun,
Then,
responsibility mo pa rin yun. At least minimum 10 years or more.
Naku, palagay
Depende
ko.
sa age ng anak. So, kung may anak sila sa una, wag mo munang isama. Hayaan mong mag-sponsor.
Yung
Hayaan
magulang.
mong mag-sponsor yung magulang. Yun po ang smart thing
Palagay
to
ko
do. At least
merong
3 years lang yung
magka-cancel
ano
ng
mo.
bakasyon.
Dito ba?
Hindi. So, ganito yun, let's say, ini-sponsor mo na, let's say you sponsored yung lady, let's say, no? Pagkatapos, it doesn't work out. The lady was only wanting to come here, parang ginamit mo you use the guy, just to get into Canada.
Yeah.
And then she decides that, you know what, it's not working, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I found somebody else. I found a Bobby or something,
Yeah.
So, the person who sponsored her, even if she's already
married to another one.
not married, kasi,
Living with another
let's say
person.
she's living with somebody else,
You're still
ikaw pa rin ang
You're still
responsible.
Oh my
Kasi
goodness.
po meron pong undertaking. And ito po yung promise mo sa immigration na you will be responsible. Yeah.
For 3 years.
Yes.
So pag bumili pala ng kotse yun,
Hindi,
Walang warranty.
it's not just filling up the form. You have to make sure that you understood yung yung
Cancel.
Oo.
And mind you na yung sinasabi pong cohabitation na 1 year, hindi enough yung technically kahit na nga kilala natin yung partner natin for more than 10 years or whatever, minsan akala natin kilala natin, hindi pa rin pala. Pero yung 1 year na yun, very short time para makilala mo yung tao. At the same time, nandito ka. Tapos yung partner mo nandoon.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, but it's a gamble to have that relationship.
Pero
Nako.
meron technique dyan eh. Parang, yan, ayaw yata yung ano.
Ayaw nung mic yung technique mo.
Oh, ay-
Oo. Okay.
yung let's say, sponsor niya, sabi mo 1 year lang. Tapos hiwalay na kami. Tapos maghahabol pa rin siya. E di magde-declare na lang ako ng bankruptcy.
Aba,
Pwede ba
i-record
yun?
mo yun.
Pwede ba yun?
I don't think na ano po yan sa
Not covered.
immigration. Default ka na nun. Magdi-default ka. Pag hindi ninyo na ano yung 3 years. So ngayon, talagang na-inlove ka after nung previous
Hindi,
relationship
mahirap ako
mo.
ma-inlove eh.
Gusto mo makumuha uli, mahihirapan ka nang makuha.
Hindi, nag-bankruptcy
Kasi
ka na nga.
magdi-default
Nag-bankruptcy ka na para wala na silang habol sa'yo.
Hindi po ano
Hindi,
yan sa
hindi.
immigration.
Ay, di ba,
Baliwala.
Di ba
Hindi po,
carry
ano
John?
yan, they
That's
don't
not
care.
counted.
It's a government yun.
Responsible ka pa rin. Kahit na bankruptcy ka na, ano ka ng file ng bankruptcy, responsible ko pa rin sa dun sa babae.
Ganun ba yun?
Kasi po, 5-10 years, nandoon pa rin yung record mo eh. Meron pong hindi naman natin binabanggit, yung nanay niya, ini-sponsor niya, so akala niya okay na kasi ang parents at the time, yung previous na ang responsibility mo sa parents, 10 years. So, 8 years nung nag-migrated na yung parents, they forgot yung kanilang sponsorship na nag-claim ng, nag-claim yung mother ng assistance sa government. Right?
I-just charge sa'yo.
After 15 years, binalikan sila ng CRA o ng government of Alberta, whatever, kung saan sila binalikan sila. Ang masakit pa ron, bukod sa sinisingil yung kinuha mo, compounding interest pa yon.
Wow.
So yung 8,000 na kinuha mo, naging 20,000 na because of yung 20 years or 15
Penalties
years.
and interest.
Yes. So default pa yung nag-sponsor. Ganun po kasakit ang pag nag-sponsor ng tao.
Nako, kailangan talaga. Think twice.
Think twice.
Cancel na pala yung sponsorship.
Kaya payo natin kay Nelson, maghanap na lang dito.
Baka cancel na ni Nelson yung bakasyon niya. Teka
Kakanta
muna,
muna tayo.
kanta muna tayo.
Niega, That Loving Feeling. Benefit concert po gagawin sa building ng Guardian Angel. Ito po ay proceed ay pupunta sa paggawa ng Guardian Angel Church sa Brampton. February 24, 2018, Saturday, 7 p.m. Toronto Pavilion TITC 190 Railside Road, North York, Ontario.
Ito ho, alam niyo ho, si Tony San Juan, ang isa naming kasamahan dito, is still in the Philippines, pero siya ho ay nagpapadala ng kanyang political commentary. So, I'm going to read this. For the nth time, PRRD, who is the president, Duterte, in a speech at the anti-corruption rally in Pasay City on November 29th, he offered to resign if a constitution that would suit Filipinos' way of life and correct the country's problems would be crafted. He will resign as early as the end of the year if an acceptable charter would be written by December 31st. Ang comment ni Tony dito is, to write a constitution takes months. So, ang sabi niya, para daw suntok sa buwan. And the next news that he has is the president said if the government will be imperiled due to efforts of the left and his critics, he would not hesitate to declare a revolutionary government to quell destabilization moves against the administration. This is contradictory statement, as he said earlier, according to news reports, that he does not want a revolutionary government. But the president continued to urge those, especially his supporters, to join rallies backing such a form of self-rule to observe peace and order as long as public safety and convenience are not compromised. Now, Vice President Leni Robredo yesterday warned officials who would attend rallies supporting the revolutionary government that they may be held liable for rebelling against the 1987 Constitution. It was bothersome to hear officials calling for a revolutionary government as this was against existing laws. Robredo said that's rebellion against the Constitution and against the current government. Now, after scuttling peace talks with the communists, the president has ordered security forces to shoot armed rebels, even as an executive order is being prepared to declare them as terrorists. Duterte also ordered the military and police to rearrest the top leaders of CPP-NPA, earlier released as consultants of the moribund peace talks. Yan ho ang news ni Tony San Juan. Hot news ho yan kasi nasa sa Pilipinas ho siya. He's reporting directly from the Philippines. So, he'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yan. Alam mo, ang maganda doon sa sinabi ni Tony, he did not... he's advocating for the non-revolutionary government. Ang gusto niya ni Presidente is he will not use the revolutionary government status kung ang mga ito ay susuko dun sa mga gusto niya mangyari. Pero I don't think so. Especially yung si Joe Masison, matigas pa ang ulo nun sa bato eh. Kaya akala lang ni Presidente maniniwala sa kanya yun. Hindi maniniwala. Alam mo, mga komunista sa atin, mga kanina, wala lang kanya. Wala lang gagawing pagbabago. Kaya, mga kaibigan, huwag natin pong tulungan ang mga tao na gawin na magkaroon ng revolutionary government. Kasi pag yan po ang natuloy sa Pilipinas, magulo na ho. Because, hindi, malaki ang gulo dahil lumalaki ang scope ng martial law. Imbes na doon lang sa Maynila o doon lang sa Northern Luzon, sama na Mindanao, sama na Northern Luzon, sama na ang Pilipinas. Actually, the whole Philippines, martial law na naman yan. The moment dineclare nila martial law, wala na yan.
Yeah,
okay.
Nelson.
Yeah, ang Toronto Syndicated Network ay nagpapasalamat sa mga nakinig at nakikinig sa amin for the past 13 years. Kayo po ang nagsilbing inspirasyon ng Talakayan Radio Filipino.
Isang kanta bago tayo magpapaalam.
tayo po ay nasa kaduluduluan ng buntot ng palatuntunan ng talakayan. Kaya pagpapaalam na po tayo, pero pakinggan muna natin ang pamamaalam ni Arlene at saka ang ating guest. Kung ano ang gusto niyo pang idagdag at kung mayroon man, magpaalam na kayo ng
Parting words.
Parting words.
No, sure. Thank you everybody for your attention, and you know where to find us.
Could you give us your phone number and the address of your office here in
Yeah.
Yorkville?
Same.
Maraming salamat po. Ikinagagalak ko na isa na naman po kami sa guest dito. Appreciate ko po yon with all my heart. So, thank you sa lahat ng cast ng Talakayan. Si Arlene po, nagpapaalam. Maligayang Pasko po at manigong bagong taon sa inyo in advance kasi hindi po ako makakabalik dito na para batiin kayo. So, Canix Immigration po, 416-892-2916. And then, ang address po is 3500 Dufferin Street, Unit 203, Toronto, Ontario, M3K1E4. By the way po, ang inyo pong lingkod, nasa real estate na rin po. I'm also a realtor. Thank you po. Sa Home Life Romano po ako. Thank you.
Pero Arlene, do you have a website?
I have a website po
Okay,
sa
Canex.
sa Canex and dyan sa ano po, sa real estate din po.
I see.
arlenevolpintesta.com. Thank you.
Very good. Nako.
Ayan. Mamaalam na rin yung ating magigiting na mga kasamahan dito sa radyo. Magsimula kami. Tapang ka ba talaga?
Hindi ako magiting eh. Hindi ba ang magiting pang lalaki lang yon?
Hindi.
Ganun ba? Ano ba ang magiting? Hindi ko rin-
Tapang.
I see. Okay, nako, tough.
Guts.
Kailangan tough, gutsy. O sige, magpapaalam na ho ako. I'm May, and thank you for listening to us today. And I hope you learned a lot about immigration. So yung mga nakikinig ho, it's always be careful when you're trying to sponsor people from the Philippines because you know what your risks are. Pag hindi natuloy, then it's a gamble.
It's
So,
not sponsoring only from the Philippines. You can also sponsor
yeah,
from
anywhere
in the world,
yes.
right?
Nako, meron na yatang magbabakasyon ngayon sa Europe. Anyway, so thank you for listening, and I hope you listen again next week at 10 to 11.
Bobby.
Ito po si Bobby. Magkita-kita po tayo sa susunod na Sabado, alas 10 hanggang alas 11. Thank you po.
Ito po si Nelson, nagpapaalam mo sa inyo hanggang sa isang linggo ulit.
Sa Kakalatan, Toronto, at of course sa ating mga masugid na tagapakinig, of course huwag niyo kalimutan pag nag-sponsor kayo at konsultahin lang ang Conex Immigration. At hindi man kayo masasagot kagad, matutuwa kayo, nakita nyo na si Arlene.
Sige kayo. Baka di nyo alam.
Kaya pala maaga si Joe ngayon eh.
30 minutes advance.
Ako po nagpapasalamat kay Marlene, kay Arlene, at sa kay Juliana. Kayo pumunta rito sa amin at pinagbigyan nyo ang aming palatuntunan. Napagyan nyo kami ng aral sa mga inyong trabaho. Ngayon, alam mo, Arlene, goodbye rin to sa iyo dahil alam ko very busy kayo. At nawa, maging masaya kayo sa Paskong ito. Ayan, hanggang po sa susunod na Sabado, kami po ay namamalam na anuman ang inyong ibig talakayan namin. Sa Sabado, may ibig kayong balikatin namin, tumawag lang po kayo sa 647-996-2887 or mag-email po sa jcabri2887rogers.com. Salamat po at magandang